Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tasheena. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some frequently asked questions as it regards to the marriage license, the minister's marriage license. I created a video that talked about the process of doing the marriage license, and I had quite a number of questions that persons had, as well as there are other questions that weren't asked that can be useful for you. So if you're not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, like this video, share this video, and leave a comment in the comment section. So let's get into the video. So I do have my notebook. Yes, I wrote down the questions. And you might hear your question being repeated. It's just to highlight it for others who don't necessarily read comments, not sure who they are. But if in the event you don't read comments, I'm creating a video and adding all the other questions that possibly could be asked about this process. So if you're not familiar and this is the very first video, I can suggest that you pause this one and you go ahead and watch the minister's marriage license or the marriage license video, the application process, right? So this is a follow-up, like I mentioned. These are some frequently asked questions. Now I'm going to hit it off with the very first one. Can you marry the same day when you get the marriage license? Is there a place that can do this for you? Now, to answer your question, can you get married when you get the marriage license on the same day? No. If you are using the RGD, which is the Registrar General Department of Jamaica's method, then you can't. From the basis and the logics that they would need time. So on the day that you collect your marriage license, right, you can decide to go by the RGD office that you and your partner want to get married. Say you want to get married at Twickenham Park location. You have to go to that location and you're gonna have to pay the fee of the 18,000. This can be subjected to change at any point in time. So I suggest you check their site or you contact them to find out what their current rate is. Right? And guys, this is not a promotion video. I'm just providing information, because when I was doing it, I didn't have that much, I had to be asking persons that I knew of that went through the process. Anyways, back to the question. So can you get married the same day you get the minister's license? No. If you're using the RGD method, no. Because after collecting that minister's license, you'd need to go by the RGD office of the specific location that you want to get married, right? Pay the fee and set the date and time. See that it's a government organization, I highly doubt there will be availability on the same day. And also thinking from an organized perspective, they'll need time to prepare the letters for both parties' first initial. Yes. And the space. And remember, it's not just you alone that want to get married. So you do have other persons who would have started their process and made their appointments. So no, you can't get married the same day using RGD. No. The only way I see this possible is if in the event they have that day available. No, I highly doubt that would be the case. Personally, I highly doubt it would be the case, but that would be the only reason and the only way. But again, I highly doubt, because again, they have to prepare for you and your partner's day. Just like doing a normal wedding, the only thing is that this eliminates a lot of layers and expense for us. So they do desire their time frame to prepare for you. However, if you are thinking about going, or you are time strapped, you can think about another method instead of using RGD. So you went ahead, you got your minister's license already. Remember, this gives permission to a marriage officer to marry you and your partner. So you can decide to go and find a pastor outside of RGD, right, that is willing to do it on the same day. But of course, this you'd have had to start the process and the discussion with this person prior, I believe. And it depends on your relation with the person. Now, you might be, all right, so with the RGD method, there's a 18,000 that's a fixed. Now, if you get a pastor separately and you don't use RGD, because you don't only have to use RGD for it to be inexpensive, right? If you get a pastor and he charges you a certain amount to do the ceremony, whether you do it on the beach, in your backyard, in your house, wherever, because you can get married wherever you are most comfortable, right? So you can decide to do that. And if that pastor agree, then sure, you can marry on the same day, right? Granted, your partner is in the country. If it's a case where your partner doesn't reside in Jamaica and they are overseas, then you need to have them in the country 24 hours before you actually have the wedding ceremony. As far as I can recall. All right, so that should take care of the very first question. Question number 2. How do you get the marriage license if your partner lives overseas? Can my partner get the process done and I send the documents? So yes, your partner don't necessarily need to be in the country the same time as you to get the process started. However, the documents are going to be needed from your partner and you are going to have to do all the up and the down and getting the documents signed or notarized via JP. So you can start the process before your partner comes in the country. However, bear in mind they have to be in the country within 4 hours prior to the date and time that you set at RGD for the wedding. They'll have to be there. Question number 3, to complete the decoration form, what address should be used if your partner lives overseas? Now, if your partner lives overseas, I'm assuming you live in Jamaica or you're local, so you'd use your local address. As I'm assuming as well that when your partner comes to the country, they stay with you. So that local address should be the address used on the decoration form. Can I use my JP where I live to fill out the form, even if I'm not residing in Kingston? Yes, you are expected to get the form, the decoration form that is, signed by the JP that's within your area. And to reiterate, and this can be another question, where do you go ahead and get your documents stamped? What stamp office? It's actually another question, the follow-up question. What stamp office can you use? Or can you use the stamp office where you are? I'm not aware of using any other stamp office aside from the one specified on the site, which is the one in Kingston on Arbor Street. Right, so you want, when you're doing this process as well, you Google and you go on the ministry's website, the respective, like the tax office website, or you can Google the marriage officer's license and they'll have that information there. So that address is where you want to go, Arbor Street. I'm not aware of any other location aside from the one on Arbor Street. After getting the minister's license, can you get married using RGD? No, that is dependent on when you go to RGD to set your date and your time after collecting the minister's license. So say, for example, today I get the minister's license. If I have the time, I'm going to go today and get it done. And I will say the sooner you go, the earlier the date or the more options you have of the earliest possible date for you and your partner. Again, the RGD method isn't the only way, and if you want to get married sooner rather than later, if you have a pastor or the relevant officiant, you can have them go ahead and do that. Do the marriage for you, because the minister's license again is to give permission to an officiant or a pastor to get you both married. Yeah, so you're not just limited to doing it at RGD. And you also get your certificate very quickly. If you use a pastor, you'll get it a few days later than if you use the RGD method. How long does it take to get the marriage license? Now, applying for the marriage license is dependent on when you drop it off. You can get it same day or the next day. Same day in the instance where you have submitted the documentation before 12. So I'd say about 11:30 you submit it the latest in that specific day, and you can pick it up at 3 p.m. Otherwise, it's gonna be the next day that you'd have to pick it up. So if you do it at 12, you know it's the next day you go and pick it up. Can I apply for the marriage license online? Unfortunately, they don't facilitate an online option, as I guess that is in the making, but they don't facilitate online. So you'd have to carry the physical documents to the location at 61 Constant Spring Road. Yes, that's the Ministry of Justice place. You'd have to submit all the documents there. Are copied documents accepted? Copied documents are accepted only if they are notarized by the relevant authorities, which is usually a JP. So that's in the instance where copy documents are accepted. If an error was made on the declaration form submitted to Ministry of Justice, can you make the correction yourself? No, you cannot make the correction yourself outside of the presence of a JP. So the JP needs to see whatever correction you're making and notarize that as well. And then you, of course, would have to go ahead and submit that updated declaration form or whatever documents you made error on. All right, we're coming down, we're boiling down. Can the marriage license be collected by someone else? So if you're busy, you're at work, whatever your situation may be, and you're not able to go and collect, yes, it can be picked up by someone else. However, that person will need to take with them a photo identification, so that be passport, driver's license. Yeah, they need a photo ID to collect it, and you will need to have a written authorization letter given to them granting them permission to collect the document on your behalf. Last question, but by no means the least, where can the minister's marriage license form be? Now, again, there's a website. I'll put it on the screen. You can download it there, or you can visit the location of Ministry of Justice on 61 Constant Spring. For the ease of everything, and especially if you're not living in the area, just download this form online or offline rather, and get it printed and signed, and get your JP to do it, and just make one thing and submit your document, rather than having to go by the location and then go get it completed and come back. Again, this is if you are not living close by the location. All right, so these are the questions I have, and I hope they have provided a bit more clarity regarding the process of getting the minister's marriage license, and also the RGD option of getting married. Now, all the best, guys. Thanks for watching. Leave your comment in the comment section, and remember, subscribe, support me here on YouTube. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.